What if I told you that history proves something shocking? That evil wins first, but never in the end? That choosing the harder path, the path of good, always leads to true victory? Let me show you how. Two men, same war. One had all the power, the other one risked everything. But today, only one of their names is remembered with honor. This is the real story of Oskar Schindler and Amon Göth, and the choice that changed everything. It was the height of World War II. The world was on fire, and in Pasvo concentration camp, Amon Göth stood at the peak of power. He was the Nazi commander ruling with absolute cruelty. Each morning he would step onto his balcony, rifle in hand, and casually shoot prisoners for sport. No remorse, no hesitation, just because he could. He was feared, he was rewarded. The SS showered him with richness, power, and influence because his brutality kept the system running. Evil was winning, and it looked unstoppable. Not far away, Oskar Schindler was also thriving, a charming businessman making a fortune of the war. He employed Jewish workers because they were cheap, because they were expendable. He didn't care. As long as he looked the other way, he too was winning. For now, both men played the same game. Both thrive in a system that rewarded ruthlessness, and for a while it seems like that was the path to victory. But then something changed. Schindler started to watch, to listen. He saw families torn apart, children executed in the streets, innocent people treated as less than human. He saw the horror not as an outsider, but as someone who was now standing in the middle of it. And then came the moment every person faces, the moment when you can no longer look away, when you realize that silence makes you complicit, that doing nothing is still a choice. And suddenly the truth became unbearable. He had a choice. He could continue playing the game, or staying rich and stay safe, or he could risk everything. And so he did the unthinkable. He bribed Nazi officers not for profit but to save lives. He falsified records, created fake documents, and convinced the SS that his Jewish workers were essential so they wouldn't be sent to gas chambers. Every lie he told saved another lie. But Göth, he laughed. To him, kindness was weakness. He continued his reign of terror, certain that power built on fear would never crumble. He had everything: wealth, status, protection, and for a time it seemed like Schindler was the one losing. He spent his entire fortune saving lives. He became the enemy of the Reich. He was hunted. And Göth, still rich, still powerful, still untouchable. But then the war ended and everything flipped. Suddenly, Göth was no longer feared. He was captured. The same system that had once rewarded him turned against him. He was dragged into a courtroom, tried for his crimes, and sentenced to death. In the end, he stood alone. No riches, no power, nothing. A man who once commanded thousands, now erased from history like a stain. And Schindler? He had lost everything: his business, his wealth, his former life, but not his name. Because of him, 1,200 people survived, and their children and their grandchildren. Today, more than 10,000 people exist because of one man's choice to stand against evil. His story is taught in classroom, his legacy is honored, movies are made about him, the world remembers his name. And Göth? A forgotten villain, a symbol of failure, proof that evil may win first, but never in the end. Evil is easy. It's fast. It brings quick power, fast money, instant results. But it always collapses. It destroys, isolates, and turns on itself. Good is harder. It costs. It demands sacrifice, patience, and courage. It doesn't always win immediately, but it always wins eventually. Because history proves something undeniable. Humanity always gravitates towards good in the end. We reject cruelty, corruption, and destruction. We remember and honor those who build, not those who destroy. And so, in your life, you will face this same choice. Will you take the easy path, the one that wins first but never lasts? Or will you take the harder path, the one that demands more but leads to something greater? History has already chosen which side wins. The only question left is, when your moment comes, what will you choose? If this message spoke to you, share it. Let more people hear this truth. Because in a world that often rewards the wrong things, it's up to us to prove that good still is the greatest force of all.